In this presentation, we will talk about climate change. The first question is, what does sustainability mean? Sustainability is about meeting the demands of the current generations without depriving the needs of the future generation. With an increasing global population, there couldn't be a better time to get a good grasp of this concept. The demands of the future generation will be greater than the current. Therefore, more resources such as energy and food will be required. In one word, sustainability means survival. A society cannot survive if the basic needs aren't met: fuel and food. Now this brings me to my next question. What events have led to the situation we are in today? 97% of scientists agree that climate change is happening and that it has been accelerated through the interference of humans in the form of mass burning of fossil fuels over the last 200 years. There are three reasons that help us understand why. 1. The Industrial Revolution. This is the period spanning over the 18th and 19th century where humankind experienced unprecedented growth. A boost in living standards was one of the recipients from it. However, this boom was fueled by a dirty energy source: coal. When burnt, coal releases large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, thus making it thicker and better adapted at trapping sunlight, which then heats up the earth and subsequently increases the global temperature, resulting in shifts in climate patterns and coincidentally making droughts and flooding more common, which is bad for civilization in general. The Industrial Revolution was a positive turning point in history, but it also was the start of the beginning of the thirst for energy. The thirst for energy still exists in a very large way, larger than it was back in the Industrial Revolution. But the fuel has switched from coal to now oil and gas. Another reason is distorted energy policies. Governments still maintain an outdated energy subsidy policy. As the evidence above has pointed out, fossil fuels do contribute largely to climate change. A simple response would be to severely reduce these incentives for corporations. And instead use this money to pour it into green energy. However, and this brings me to the third point, there is corruption within governments that stop the representatives from supporting positive change. Campaign contributions from companies that benefit from the outdated policies are oil and gas, such as Exxon and Shell. They do not want this to happen because the demand for the products will likely decrease, resulting in lower annual profits for them. This is bad for business. As a result, they spend millions lobbying to slow down the change to a green future. The final question to answer is how can we the economists, help governments fight climate change? There are two simple but very effective ways to do this. 1. Implement a carbon tax, and 2. Have a strategic focus on investments in green technologies and energy. Now we understand what to do, we need to act and just do it. As recent as 2015, there was a massive success in global cooperation in taking control of our future. This was, of course, the Paris Agreement. What's important to take from this is that two of the world's largest polluters, China and the United States of America, have signed and therefore support this statement. Without the largest contributors to climate change on board, then the Paris Agreement would be redundant. To solve a problem, you first need to locate the source. To end this paragraph, PowerPoint, I want to say that if the governments and societies across the world unite towards a common goal, then anything is possible. Thank you.